Welcome everybody to this OneDoor Studios update. We have the OG3 on board with you today. John, Jay, and I. Dan and Paul are just busy doing other stuff today. Dan's running a marketing company and as well as running my stream. And Paul, we don't normally meet on Wednesdays, which that's what it is right now. And so Paul had other stuff he had to do. But John, Jay, and I, we're here today, and so we want to give you an update on Calculated. And I'd like to say there's huge smiles on our faces right now, but there aren't because we had kind of a blow to the project recently. And as you guys know, Belle Avery took on the role of, with her writing team, taking the script from Calculated and really bringing it to something that she believed she could take to distributors and her contacts for funding. And in her mind, Calculated was something that she would absolutely get done and a project she believed in 100%. But always in the wings, there was another project that might have pulled her away, and we just never knew if and when that might happen. And so, just as soon as we got her team gave the updated script, and they did the important task of doing the day and date budget, which we'll talk about that in a second. Just after that happened, she contacted us and said that she was going to have to gracefully bow out of the project because of other commitments and too much going on with the project that she's working on right now. In addition,
On that note, though, she said she's absolutely available to us for help. She just can't be the main one.
right. Well, and to me, yeah, to me, it was a huge blow because
Yeah, to all
felt,
of us.
I felt very strongly um, that Bella was. I mean, she had such passion for this project. When she worked on the Meg and Meg 2, she said about that project. She took that project from Disney. She said that she believed that she was going to take that project all the way, and she said, "I feel the same thing about Calculated," and so we had a lot of confidence in her. But to have her not on the project anymore, to me is yeah, we're not happy. I mean, I'm not happy. We're happy for her, and we have good relationship with her still, but um, so it's back
It,
in our court.
it
Go
does
ahead.
point it does point to her caliber though, and
Yep.
the kind of people we're dealing with. She's in big demand. She had another project that she'd done some work on, and the fact that it came together, it catalyzed, and they were ready to rip. It's not. It's more common than not when people like that dealing with the people that they deal, when they do come together, they usually come together quickly, and they need to step aside because directors, actors, other people are on schedule, and there's kind of a round robin that happens, and everybody steps up. And
Yep.
but we would have preferred, for our selfish sake, that
Yep.
would happen. Um, on the other hand, it does point to the kind of person
Yep.
that she is, and
Yeah.
her ability, what she's working on, and her abilities to do the same for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that opens up some new challenges that we didn't have before. I mean,
yeah,
well, number one, we're going back to the context that we have, and there, frankly, there's so much flux in the industry right now that certain people that we took the project to at certain large production houses are no longer there anymore, and they've been replaced with other people, and so we have opportunities to go back to them again with new people in charge, and a new script that is written by well, or at least enhanced by Belle and her team. But we did actually get one really good thing besides the new script. It is not an easy thing to get a day and date budget, like an accurate budget for a project, and we did get that from someone who was very reputable in the industry. Jason or John, whoever has the kind of the goods on that, you want to mention that real quick?
John, you could go into the details. I just want to say I'm very grateful because Bell told me he's one of the top three, even top two in the whole industry. And John, you can talk about this, but it makes a big difference.
yeah, it does. Well, having a full budget is good, but it isn't hard to get, for people that are in the industry, and I know we have investors that are. you can get a full budget with all the bells and whistles. The thing that's challenging is getting one who's recognized by the people that matter in putting projects together, that it is a solid budget. And there, like Jason was saying, there aren't very many of them around. So there's just a handful, and Val was able to get one. And often they're either in a project, being an executive in charge of production, or UPM, or some other high-end position dealing with budget execution when you're actually in principal photography. But Val was able to pull that off and get really with almost the top person of that small group of acknowledged folks, that you can walk in with their budget and their name on the front of the budget makes it what Val would say is golden, meaning that it's like being created from in-house people. They're just a name brand that it's accepted by. So that's a high value item, and it's connected to this particular script, which we're pretty pleased with, and so we can roll forward and advance with it on that. So we do have things together, and from Bell we got both the script and the budget that
All
she
right.
arranged for. So
And let me jump in and say that because prior we had always, said that the budget for the film was, X amount of dollars. We're always saying 40, $50 million, but then that had never had any teeth behind it as far as what it would really cost. And now we do. We have that solid budget that really says what the project is going to cost to do, including the brand tie-ins and the tax incentives and all that stuff. So, that's something that we do have in our belt now. I wanted to say that at the beginning of this call, Dan was not on with us, but Dan, you're
Hey
with
guys.
us. So if you're happy, let us see your
Hey,
happy face for a second.
hey guys, how you doing? Sorry to be late.
Yeah. So Dan's been working hard on other stuff, but do you have anything that you wanted to add as far as how you felt with Belle kind of exiting the scene?
Well, Belle's still with us, and she said she's constantly going to be available to bring all kinds of insights and conversations and opportunities as we go. So we don't know where she's going to land back in the
Yeah.
team in some form, which we know. But the opportunities that I see is just from a timing perspective. The production industry has shifted just over the last 5 years. It's shifted, but the next 5 years is even more interesting. Technology is changing the way we're going to think about film, the possibility of who can produce film. And then, of course, we're working on my stream about how it can be distributed. That the democratization of media is taking place in the middle of all of this, to where the difference between one production group and another is going to be the script. It's going to be the idea. It's going to be the values that are brought inside of that environment that bring a sense of emotional connection to meaningful information that's going to be in a movie. And I believe the difference that we've been working on is exactly that, getting that script right to be ready for this technological innovation right now, where we're seeing the cost of production going down. Even the budgets we're saying today could be decimated by the way production changes through the next 3 to 5 years in the use of AI. I know, Stephen, you've been doing some amazing things with AI. I'm not saying this is going to be an AI film. I'm just saying there won't be a film in the next 3 to 5 years that you can call not AI.
No.
They're going to say that it wasn't, but it's not possible to produce without AI in our
I mean,
modern
the things you
technology
can
environment.
do, I mean, interrupt you, but the things you can do with AI now, like I just finished up a documentary and we had some high profile people on it, and one of them misspoke in a sentence they said, and they called it, hey, this data is incorrect. Can you fix this? And so we fixed it with AI, cloning their voices and having them re-say what they said, and it sounds no different, looks no different, so it's an incredible tool, time saver, money saver. Imagine getting the person back in the studio again to re-say just those lines for factual sake. So
I'll give you an example of that. We used to have this phrase, fix it in post, and everyone would laugh because, you might have spent $1,000 on a few second shot, but it cost you 20 million to fix it in post. And so what we can truly say when we say fix it in post, you can do it without a snicker. because yes, you can fix it in post. You can put a background. You can put them in an environment far away in a land we never traveled to. And all of this is done in a green screen, which we know has been done. But I remember going frame by frame in a technology we used to call rotoscoping, where
Oh
you
yeah.
would go literally each frame of that film and you would edit the outline of the individual to place a background on that person, and it still didn't look like it belonged there. Today you can do this by just simply asking the AI to put a person in a different place, and it knows what to do. So the cost of production, some are saying estimates you should be able to see 30% cost reduction.
Yeah.
I believe it's going to invert to 70 at some point. And as we're going into the final round, it's going to be the race to the better scripts. And the amount of productions that will be greenlighted are going to go off the charts. We're going to see more and more films being made than ever in the history of mankind. And it's going to not be about budget as much as it's going to be about, did you have a great script? And that's the piece we're really excited about right now.
Yeah. So where are we right now? And this is, we are literally, and someone sent an email the other day and they were frustrated, and I don't blame them. They said, guys, we're 7 years into this project. And that's a true statement. Absolutely a true statement. And yeah, the frustration that they feel is the same frustration we feel. But then I was reminded of The Greatest Showman, which movie I saw 8 times in the theater because it was so dang good. I mean, most people think it was so dang good. Some people hated it, but that film was 10 years from inception to completion. I'm just saying it happens. It happens at the long and
We know Mel Gibson's working on The Resurrection right now. And the Passion version 1 of that film, by the way, had every intent to become a part 2. It was scripted, produced, and distributed as a part 1. And here we are now. We still haven't seen it. And they were working on that a lot longer ahead of time. And the bottom line is the script. Multiple scripts were written, multiple are out on the shredding floor somewhere. And finally, you get a group that's come together and said they think they found the right thing. But this is hard work, getting that story right.
yeah. And in fact, one of our team is actually doing stuff on that project right now. But so what are we doing with Calculated is now in our hands to take it to distributors again. And I think I said before that a lot of flux in the industry, and some of the people that were there at these production houses and distributors are not there anymore, and they've been replaced with other people that we may know. So it's in our hands right now to take it back to distributors and to get in some doors or think of different models that we can use to distribute this film. So that's where we are, and I wish we had some really bang on super exciting news. But it is, once again, it's farther forward, it's farther along, just not as fast as we want it to be. So once again, thank you to our investors for hanging with us. Any of you guys want to add anything else before we sign off today?
Yeah, I'll say just a word that from the very beginning, when John and I first read the book and we decided, wow, this needs to be a major motion picture. And through the years, we've had so many people, including some of the top people in the film industry, read the book and say the same thing. We haven't changed our tune. We're not slowing down. I'm not so sure it's been 7 years, to be honest, because that would mean it'd have to be well, I know we started raising capital during COVID or right afterwards, but either way, we are men of faith. We believe in providence, and we have seen what we thought was something negative turn into something amazing over and over and over with this project. So never fear, we're not slowing down. Paul and I especially are going to be really charging ahead on this in the next couple months.
Yeah, and I'll clarify that 7 years because I wasn't part of OneDoor Studios in 2019. I was on a vacation in the Philippines when the two of you guys sent me the script or sent me the manuscript. It wasn't even a novel yet.
Right.
And I read the book and I was just completely taken aback. And so that was in like April or May of 2019. That's why I said 7 years. We hadn't started raising funds yet. We hadn't even done anything with it yet. Hadn't even formed an LLC, I don't think. So that's the where I say 7 years. So anyway, so
One thing we can say is tenacity is the word of the day. That we're not slowing down. We're not bored. We're not disinterested. A story well told is the future, and we have to tell this story. It's meaningful, and it touched our hearts, so it needs to touch more hearts, and that's the end game.
yeah. So you guys are not invested in a dead project. It may feel like that sometimes when the time just keeps going by, but it is not a dead project. We're continuing to move forward, and we really believe there will be a payoff in the future. So thanks for sticking with us, everybody. And yeah, you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you soon again.